Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think we were discussing about the reagent and the condition required for scheme number 10. In detail we have studied that one. So today right now what we are going to discuss, look at here. We are going to discuss mechanistic rationale for the stereoselective epoxidation of olefin minus 54 through iodohydrin formation. That is the main objective of today's discussion, which we are discussing right now presently. So let us see, as we know that the structure number, what is that? Structure number, I think 54, right? This is a structure number 54, that is a minus 54, which we are discussing, minus 54. Let us see, I am showing over here the structure number here 54. So here you can clearly observe this structure which I am representing over here, double bond here, one of the hydrogen atom, it remains as it is, this hydrogen atom also as it is, and the group which is attached over here is a OTB DPS, that is a tetrabutyl diphenylsilyl. And now this is nothing but as a structure number minus 54, and when there is a path, we can say here A, right? Let me here A path, when it is treated with MPBA, that is a metachloroperbenzoic acid, BA, that is a metachloroperbenzoic acid, and as we know that it is a regular commonly used oxidizing reagent, and if you remember as a beer vinegar oxidation reaction where we generally using this type of the reagent, metachloroperbenzoic acid, here it is used for the epoxidation. There are the two possibilities, this side and this is another side. This side we can call it as alpha side, not alpha side. Here you can call it as a beta side where the electrophile is coming. Now when the electrophile is coming this side, this will be the alpha side. When electrophile is coming from this side, alpha side and the beta side, two sides are there, and therefore depending upon in which way, in which phase, in which side the electrophiles are coming, depending upon it, two possibilities are generated, or two possibilities are there. One we can show over here, one possibility I am showing over here, this one. This is a structure which I have drawn over here. Another structure which I am representing here, two possibility, that's why I am showing two arrows here, A pathway. Now if it is attached to the beta side, so where the epoch side looks like this, O, this one, right? And when epoch side, alpha side means below side, oxygen atom you can show like this is a beta side, and other part of the organic compound they remain as it is. So we can show O, Tb, DPS, tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl chloride, O, Tb, DPS, and here the hydrogen atom, as we know that it is above the plane, and this hydrogen atom should be below the plane. Whatever stereochemistry in the first means structure number 54, and we are getting beta epoxide. This one is a called as, this is structure number 55, beta epoxide. And as we know that epoxide is nothing but as a three-membered cyclic ether is known as a beta epoxide. Now this you can call it as a structure number 58, which is alpha epoxide. Those two possibilities, I have shown over here, you can observe carefully. This is a thick line, three-membered ring epoxide, that is a beta epoxide we can call it, and this dotted line means that epoxide formation is below the plane, and therefore it is represented like this, and we got the structure number 55 as well as 58 depending upon the reaction condition over here with metachloroperbenzoic acid producing these two possibilities, where E here, E is nothing but as a metachloroperbenzoic acid or I plus. Here electrophile is nothing but as a metachloroperbenzoic acid or I plus iodinium ion. That's the possibility over there. Now when B possibility, here B possibility are like this, so we can show this B possibility like this. So this is a possibility which I am trying to show over here. When it is treated with NiS H2O water. NiS, as I already explained, these full form and its structure of NiS. One is a N stand for N-iodosuccinamide followed by water. What they produce? They produce the iodonium ion 59 and 59, because up to the 58 we got over here. Now the structure which we are going to get over here, I am representing here. So here carefully you can observe these structures which I have drawn over here. See, these are the structure. Now here this is a structure which I am representing, that is a iodonium ion, cyclic membered ring iodonium ion, and here the hydrogen atom which is as it is, this hydrogen atom also as high as it is, and this group it is also present as it is, Tb, DPS, tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl. Now here this is the structure number 59, whereas iodinium ion other side, that is alpha side iodinium ion, and the hydrogen atom which remains as it is like this, and here the hydrogen atom which is like this, and the group which is attached over there, OTB DPS, that is a tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl, and this is a structure number 60 which we have got over here. So after getting these two structures 59 and 60 by the B pathway, where we have used N-iodosuccinamide followed by water, there is a formation of iodinium ion. There are two phases are obtained, one is a beta side and another one is a alpha side, and which are represented, which are depicted on this blackboard, and the numbers of that structures are given 59 and 60. Now let me clean the board due to the limitation of the blackboard. Once again, remember here you are alert here how I am showing, but you are not losing your connectivity or the sequence. So if you observe this, now I am showing arrow like this. So you keep your continuity regularly. Now there on 59 there is a slow reaction when that iodinium ion from the beta side, when I am adding for the opening the iodinium ion followed by hydrolysis, this reaction is a faster when it is treated with water. And in addition to that, what do you get over here? You are going to get the product. Let me draw once again those product over here. So I am showing those product, both the product here properly you can observe, and here plus regioisomer. Regioisomer, one is this, here also we are getting as a plus regioisomer along with this. Now here the hydroxy group coming from the back side, this side, and the ring is get open, hydroxide from below the side and iodide must be above the from above side. And now this is the hydrogen atom which is above the plane, this is the hydrogen atom which is below the plane, this is the group which is once again Tb DPS, that is a tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl which is represented over here. Now, here the hydroxy group should be above the plane and the iodine should be below the plane. The remaining structure which are remains as it is, other part of the organic compound which remains as it is DPS. Now, this is the structure number, we can call it as a 61 and this one should be 62. This is a structure number 61 and that is the structure number 62. And this group we can call it, this is a axial hydroxyl group, axial, not axial, this is a equatorial and this one you can call it as a axial one. EQ, here not the equivalent, it is a axial hydroxyl group and this is a, this is the equatorial which is below the plane. Whatever group in the stereochemistry generally in case of the what we can call it, this is a compound you might be knowing, cyclohexane. There are two bonds are two type of the bonds are present. One is the axial bonds and the equatorial bonds. Axial bonds are perpendicular to that and the equatorial bonds are equatorial to that one. Now, above bonds are represented by a thick line and below are the equatorial like this. Here, so similarly, this is a axial and this is a equatorial are below here at this particular corner and that is why I am shown over here. Now, when these two structures 1 and 2 discard the regioisomer from here, now I am again cleaning the blackboard and now I am only inverting the arrow, but you are very alert, so you can know that one. Now I am treating this with K2CO3, that is a potassium carbonate, here also K2CO3 which is also as a potassium carbonate. After addition of the potassium carbonate, as we know that it is a base and base can remove that hydroxy group and form the epoxide. The what kind of the epoxide we are going to, after addition of this, you are going to get the structure like this, which is I am representing over here. See properly. Here the epoxide is formed like this. This is nothing but this is one of the structure which I am representing over here. Hydrogen atom should be here and this is a group which remains as it is OTB DPS, that is a tertiary butyl diphenyl silyl. Now, here what do you get? You are going to get the structure is like this. So, you can remember the structure you are going to get over here, this one oxygen atom, here also as oxygen atom, and now the hydrogen atom at this part of the organic molecule remains as it is. This is a hydrogen atom which is also remains as it is. This group also remains as it is, TBDPS. And this is the structure we can call it, this is the structure is nothing but as a 58 and this is the structure which is nothing but as a plus 55, plus means enantiomerically pure and the yield were obtained near about 91% overall yield was obtained here, yield. Overall yield is a 91% is obtained in this particular case. So, this is the general scheme which I have represented over here. Let us see some description about this. To circumvent this rather disappointing outcome, a two-step procedure was developed for the preparation of the desired beta epoxide plus 55 from minus 54. Proceeding through iodohedrine formation C61 and 62, which is represented in scheme number 11, and this two-step procedure involve reaction of the olefin with NiS in the presence of H2O, followed by treatment with K2CO3, and resulted in the stereoselective formation of epoxide plus 55 in a 91% yield, approximately 90:1 diastereomers. Scheme number 11 provide a possible mechanistic rationale for this diastereoselective process. Key to this postulated explanation is the reversibility of the formation of the two possible iodonium species 59 and 60, and the two trapping of one of them, that is 59, as opposed to the fast trapping of the other, that is the 60, method B by H2O. From the results with metachloroperbenzoic acid epoxidation, approximately 1:1 ratio of products, method A, it appears that the initial electrophilic addition to the olefin proceed with no diastereofocyl selectivity, a fact that has little any effect on the iodohedrine mediated procedure, since the rate determining step is likely to be the interception of the iodonium species by water. Subsequent treatment of the generated iodohedrine led to epoxides plus 55 and 58 in approximately 9:1 diastereoselectivity, with the beta epoxide plus 55 predominating as shown in scheme 11. Proceeding with the synthesis of independent introduction of the isopropyl group required reaction of epoxide plus 55 with 2-lithiopropene at minus 78 degrees centigrade in the presence of trifluoroborane diethyl ether, scheme number 10, a reaction that performed splendidly in contrast to many other protocols. To afford the desired hydroxyolefin plus 56 regio and stereoselectivity in 83%. In order to confirm unambiguously the structure of this newly formed intermediate, para-bromophenyl carbamates 57 melting point were 136 to 138 ethyl acetate hexane was prepared para BRC6 H4NCO 4-DMAP TBAF 74% for the two steps and subjected to X-ray crystallographic analysis scheme 10, which indeed provided the sought structural assurance as productive as it was. The described sequence thus far left the free hydroxyl group C29 Van numbering of plus 56 with the wrong configuration necessitating its inversion, and this configuration correction was carried out through a Mitsundu reaction. And what do you mean by the Mitsundu reaction? I think that reaction we will describe in our next lecture. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.